What's up, you guys? We got a 2008 Scion XA here. I'm sorry, XB. But if you got a Scion, doesn't matter. If you got a 4-cylinder Scion and you got a heavy oil leak, you're gonna need to replace a valve cover gasket for this baby. We got a Bacardi. There's a part number right there. Comes with the spark plug board grommets. So we're gonna do the complete job here. This doesn't look so good. So we're gonna replace this valve cover gasket on this baby. Should be nice and simple job. Let's get this baby going. So we're gonna start off by using 10mm. It's gonna be mostly 10mm. Take off this, cover comes off, and then we're gonna remove everything. We also gonna be changing the spark plugs, ignition coils. We got a cylinder number 4 misfire on this baby. So we're gonna do a PCV valve as well. I got everything here, but we're gonna make a different videos. This is gonna be simply just for the valve cover gasket here. Okay, so let's start this baby by removing the two 10mm on top of this cover here. And once you're done taking all those off, this thing should just come right off. And put this baby to the side. I'm gonna get a small little rag because this thing is super filthy down here. So what I usually like to do is I like to remove all this gunk as much as I can to begin this job. That way I don't have to do it later. But this is not about having a pretty valve cover. It's more about having doing the job properly. So what we're gonna do next is the spark plugs. You want to keep these coils in order, because remember we have a misfire on cylinder 4. So the coil is P0304, which is this right here. So cylinder 1 P0301, 302, 303, 304. That's the order they lie in. So let's just come up this way a bit so we can see it better. Okay, so we got these bolts. Once you have everything out, you don't want to drop nothing inside, so that's something that I want you guys to be careful with. Okay, what I like to do here is, so I want to remove these coils and keep them in order. Okay, you do not want to mix up the order. So all you do is you push down on this connector. I'm gonna go get something, or maybe a pick will do. Okay, next step up, all I want to do is use this pick to lift up these connector, and that comes out. This baby will come out. Keep them in, I mean, you cannot go wrong. This connector is never gonna reach over here, but this can reach over there, but you still don't want to mix nothing up. And we're gonna keep these in order. If you have oil here, pretty much that would be another sign that your ignition coil is getting submerged with the oil and the spark plug, and that will be a reason why you have a leak. Anyways, if you have oil in there, you do want to replace the valve cover. And so far no oil. This little guy right here, this is cylinder 4, which we're getting misfire for, no oil. But we're gonna put this baby to one side. We got nothing to do with it. So we got a PCV valve back here, and we got this pipe here. So this little clamp here, you gotta push it, and that baby's not gonna come out that easy. Whew. So this pipe here, let's just push it with this. So these pipes over time, they get corroded. Like this guy is pretty much it's looking like it's gonna break. So we got another pipe on this side. So let's see if we get this baby off. So these are really hard. These pipes are super hard, so we don't want to break them. So go easy on them. There's nothing you could do. You could probably heat them a bit, but they're still gonna try to break. So I just go easy on it, squeeze this, and this guy comes right off, and it's probably gonna come off from that end. Very important you don't have a vacuum leak there, because you do have a MAF sensor on this vehicle. So we got this guy off our harness, we're gonna simply just get that out of the way. Next step, I am gonna go get a couple of tools with the swivel, and we're gonna remove 10, all these 10 millimeters all around. We're gonna try to remove all the nuts and bolts we can. So let's start off from the center here. I'm just using a swivel here to make my life a little bit easy. And this guy comes off, long bolt. Remember not to drop nothing inside once you have your valve cover out of the way. Let's take this guy off. Okay. And you can just, oh, this thing just broke off. Anyways, so whatever bolt I take off here, you have one on the opposite side. We got one over here. So we got one right about over here. And we got one in this corner. So each corner is just bolts all around. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start off from the back. Okay, I don't think this is a good idea. Okay, that came out. So try to keep your bolts in order so you know which bolt goes where. There's one over here. Tightening is not gonna be the case, okay? I'm gonna just give my hand right through here and feel every single bolt. So there's one over here. Okay, so far they all look the same. We're gonna go further, and there's one all the way in the corner over here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to try to eliminate my extension. The extension is wobbling. So I'm just using a short 10 millimeter with the swivel and a reducer. It's okay, let's see how this baby feels. Direct pressure. Okay, my glove is caught on. Okay, there's my gloves out. There you go. Power tool. Make job real easy. So we're gonna start off on this side now. There you go. Now we got a nut here. Oh, my finger got caught in that crap. Whew. Finger got caught between the socket and this. Felt that twist. Oh, got me again. So here's the last one. There you go. Hopefully there's nothing here. Okay, so I got everything pretty much. So now you can use your flathead screwdriver or a pry bar like I have here. Not a pry bar, but a small little bar here. So this baby should simply, you're gonna have to lift it out of these studs here. So straight up, and it's out of the way. Look at that. We got fumes in there. I saw the fumes lift up of gasoline in there. Okay, so that could be that this PCV valve is shot over here. So the PCV valve could be shot on this side, and the oil looks really crappy. So we're gonna put this to the side. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start off by cleaning all around where the gasket is gonna sit and try to get all the dirt outward, okay, not in, okay? You're gonna see a little bit of silicone here and on the opposite side here. So some type of RTV will do. Silicone is fine. I usually use a Honda bond. So what I want to do is I want to get all this corrosion out of here. And there's a pretty bad leak. So we're gonna put a new gasket in. So let me just get this as much as I can before we continue. And then at the end of the video, we'll spray this down. Once the engine is nice and hot, we'll spray it down with the brake cleaner, parts cleaner. Once it's hot, and it's gonna eat everything off. Just try not to shoot on the alternator or any electric component bit, something like this. So let me get this side. Okay, so I'm just wiping this thing down as clean as I can. So what I'm gonna do next is I'm gonna go get a small blade, okay? I wanna scrape whatever I can off this with the blade. Okay, so just take a blade like that or a scraper. Just try to scrape everything outward. Okay, nothing should be going in. Okay, just push it all out. You don't want to use any buffer, so just try to get this silicone out of here. Okay, a little piece fell in. Let me get that out. There you go. Okay, back in, same thing. Very critical you get this silicone stuff nice and smooth so the surface is flush for the new gasket to meet this guy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go all around with the blade in the back. Pretty much most of it just looks clean, and I just want to scrape some of this stuff off, especially over here. They do tell a scraper with the handle, which can reach in there. I do have one of those sitting around, but this is perfectly fine. What you don't want to do is use a buffer. Buffer is gonna make all kinds of crazy stuff, get it inside your valve, inside your valves here, and which can damage in long run, damage things. So let's make this side nice and smooth. Okay, so it looks good to me. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go around one more time with this baby right here. Get everything off. Once I see that it's nice and smooth. Okay, nice and smooth. Then we'll prep the valve cover itself with a new gasket. Push this baby out of here. There you go. Looks good. Looking good. Okay, got a bit of cloth here. Whew, get out of there. You don't want to blow nothing here. And that's it. That looks pretty good to me. Okay, but don't forget the center bores. Okay, very critical. Usually they don't go get that dirty in there because they sit right in the center. Nothing gets in there. So now I'm gonna take care of those. Okay, I'm gonna bring my blade back. Let me wipe my blade down. Once my blade is wiped down, I'm gonna try to grab all this crap out of here. At the same time, I want to put my hand there because I don't want to go inside the block. Here we go. Same thing here. Okay, here you go. Nice and smooth. Nice and smooth. One last touch on the center here. Okay, there you go. All right, so next step, we're gonna bring our camera out. Okay, so next step, here it is, our cover. So the cover has, see these little center grommets, part of the gasket. Just yank it from one side and the whole gasket should just come right off. There you go. So there's our old gasket. Straight to the garbage. Okay, so what we want to do next is nothing crazy, nothing wild, okay? You want to make sure this whole thing is nice and smooth, okay? So take a little rag, stick it right in the center, and just go all around. And you might have to pinch it a bit to get it in there. But once it's in there, you should see just pushing all the oil and everything out of the way. And just take it all around. Okay, there you go. All around. Perfect. Got a little bit on this side. So let's come around here. And yep. Okay, so we got this corner left here. And same thing here. Let's come up this way so you guys can see. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna just stick this thing right in there. So somebody did work on this before, and seems like they didn't do a pretty good job. Okay, one thing I want to tell you guys is you do need to change your PCV valve often. Okay, that can cause leaks because the engine pressure is not going to release, and it's going to blow the gaskets. It doesn't have to be this gasket, it can blow any gasket that a piece fell inside. So even this silicone right here, this is fine. Okay, whoever worked on this did use a silicone, but you don't need it. You only needed 2 spots. Okay, the ones I told you over there, and this looks pretty good. You want to inspect this gas, the valve cover here. Usually they will get corroded and your gasket will not sit properly, and if that's the case, you need to replace this cover itself. Okay, let's go around here. Same thing here. Make sure the center one here is nice and clean. If you see a little bit of oil in there, that's no worries, but let me go deeper. I'm not worried about the oil. Okay, so let me get the oil out a bit more. I do not want to dip this into any type of a cleaner. You do not want to spray any type of a cleaner on this. And let's get this guy. Same thing, I'm doing the same thing all around, all 4 bores here for the spark plug grommets. There we go. Okay, one last touch up here, and then I'm out of here with this little bore. If you want to get all the oil out, which I'm going to try my best, just do it a few times and it will take it out of there. Oil is going to be your enemy here because it's going to try to push the gasket out when you put a new gasket, so try your best. And that's the only thing I can tell you guys there. Try your best. Same thing in this little corners. So what I want to do now is I want to inspect this I'm going to just look around for any corrosions. So we got the gasket installed perfectly and evenly, and as I was saying, try to get the gasket as perfect as possible. Small little taps of silicone and then put the gasket on. Same thing here, same thing here. We got a little bit of silicone right here, a little bit of silicone on the opposite side because the timing cover meets. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna lean our camera a bit forward from right here so the camera can see it, and I'm gonna put something in the back so the camera doesn't slip and slide. So all you need is to have somebody help you do this, that, and you could easily slip this valve cover with the gasket. You just don't want the gasket to fall. So what I would suggest is put your hands on it just like that, and should be very simple and easy. You're gonna have to drop it straight down, and once it's down, you can check your gasket all around, inside, everywhere, but it just won't sit flush. And if you see a large oil leak, that means your gasket didn't sit properly. But anyways, we got this baby in. Very critical, you torque the valve cover, but what I like to do is I like to tighten this baby really good. So you're not gonna see me do the whole job up to the end. I like to tighten these, and then I like to put everything back together. And then, you know what, we're gonna change the plugs as well while we at it. So it's one whole video. We changing the spark plugs, PCV valve and everything, and the ignition coil. Once you're done, start up the engine, and then I want you to once the gasket gets, it's gonna be tight. Once everything is completed, start up your engine, let the gasket get warm, retighten it because the gasket does get a little stiff and soft. Anyways, let me get the tools. Okay, we don't need the tools yet. So what we're gonna do is, what I like to do is I like to drop the 2 bolts in the center. Make sure you catch the threads. Same thing here. Okay, we have a nut here. So let's just try to put all the nuts and bolts on. And one over here. And all the other ones are just bolts all around. There he goes there. And we got a few in the back. Okay, looking good. So I'm back here. Okay, there's one like right over here somewhere. Where'd it go? Where the hell at? Where the hell is it? Okay, we got one here. And then we have one right here. And then we got one in this corner right here. Make sure you catch the thread. So not I'm just putting them in. I'm turning it to catch the threads. You do not want it tighten this and damage the threads. So what I want to do next is I want to go in the center here. Okay, not gonna lock it down, and then I'm gonna catch the rest of them. There's one in this corner here. So what I want to do is I'm going to show you the torque specs at the end of the video, and what I want to do next is off the camera I'm going to torque all these, and then we'll work on the PCV valve and everything. Okay, so we got this baby in. So to tighten this, you want to grab the 2 center bolts first, tighten, try to go in the back one right in the center, because you see how the engine's tilted, so most of the oil will try to tilt out to the back. So get that, then get this, then get this. Then you could do a crisscross, but do start from the back end, and then just get them all. So do this, do this, do that, do that, do that, do that, do that, do that, and that's it. Bada bing, bada boom. Like I said, I'm gonna let this thing warm up, and then I'm gonna give it another touch. But right now, all the way back here, we got our PCV valve. Very important we change that baby right now. And I'm just gonna prep my tool here. If I can find something here. Anyways, it's a 22 millimeter. So when I got this 22, very easy. Okay, should have done this baby while it was looking at me outside. Okay, I think I'm tightening it, so we're gonna go downwards. Just don't hurt yourself. Once it's loose, you should be able to just turn this by hand. Okay. So it's very important you get this baby off. Usually they will jam up. This will still working, but we're gonna change it anyway because I do recommend that often. So let's take a look at our. We got a PCV valve here, we got ignition coil here, and we got spark plugs all together. I'll show you part numbers on each one of these. So let's pull out this PCV valve first. Comes in this box, intermotor. There's a number there. Come on, camera, light so bright. V472. And inside this box, you have a small PCV valve in this package. There you go. Ripped it with my teeth. That's what the PCV valve look like. Same exact thing. What we're gonna do is, not doing anything. As long as you hear that rattle, is good. We're gonna take this baby. We're gonna, looking from the back end, I'm just turning it the proper way. It does have a sealer on, so it's gonna seal itself. It's gonna be a little bit stiff, so we're gonna put our tool on. And I'm gonna try to just tighten this baby. So if you wanna go ahead, do everything together, you can get the plugs out and everything. So that'd be my next step, spark plug. And we're gonna change that. oil on the last cylinder, which was causing a misfire. There you go, it's nice and in there, and then at the end I'm gonna just snug it a bit, and that's it. That baby's locked in. Okay, so we're done there. So what I want to do is I'm gonna put this PCV pipe here, which doesn't look so good, but it should hold. I'm gonna recommend that to the customer. Anyways, I am gonna take my good old rag here, even though it looks dirty. I'm gonna try to clean this up as much as I can. Just don't want to see anything here crazy. So let's put this vacuum pipe in. Make sure it sticks in that end. Okay, and we're gonna put this clamp on. I'm gonna recommend this pipe also, and the duct pipe here, because the duct pipe doesn't look so good. Anyways, that's that. So let's go get a spark plug tool. Okay, next step, we're gonna use a socket here, spark plug socket, 5x8, extension, and a ratchet, and we're gonna turn these babies loose. Let's see, we're gonna also take a look at what the spark plug looked like on a cylinder 4, which is the last one over there, because since we got a misfire, it could be that the engine itself is lost compression, okay, and it could be an oil leak into the cylinder, because I know this vehicle burns oil. There you go, they're loose. We can get them out of my hand. What we're going to do here is we're going to loosen them completely. And then we'll use a magnet and pull them each one out. So if you got a brand new socket, your socket probably has a small little plastic piece inside, which will grab your plugs and pull them out. But since my socket is so old and the snap-on guy doesn't want to come around, because I bought like $10,000 worth of tools a 2 years back, and he got the fish in one bait. He doesn't want to come now, but you will have a small little plastic piece in there. But that's all right. We'll just call the corporation and let them know. Doesn't matter, you still gotta come to me. Just because I bought all my tools right there on the spot and I paid you up front, that don't mean anything. But look at these plugs, terrible condition. Okay. Ooh, look at that plug. Does not look so good. Okay, look at this plug. It's shot. Look what it looked like. Okay, this is a well overdue plugs. This is the 4-cylinder. 4-cylinder looks equally bad. So, and let's see. Let's look at this new spark plug. Okay, look at the new one and look at the old one. So the gap, make sure you gap your spark plug. This is a 0.04 of an inch. So to put in a plug, make sure your gap is good. You want to take your finger and you want to slide this plug all the way in there. Okay, that's one. And this is two. You don't want to throw it in there because that will probably close the gap. It's gonna smack and hit and close the gap. And I'm gonna show you the part number just about now. Let me go get my spark plug. So in the pack is 4. This is what I'm using, Denso. Part number here is 5304. And these plugs are pre-gapped. They're done. And even if you want to check, I just like to stick something in between. I know, perfect gapping. And there you have it. And you want to stick this baby in there. Slowly let it go in there. Then I'm gonna get my torque wrench and I'm gonna torque these babies. They're usually like 13 to 16 foot-pound. So, but grab all the threads. Make sure it's nice and snugged in, and do not leave them loose. Make sure you torque them. That baby's in. So let me go get my spark plug torque wrench. It's a regular good old torque wrench. For this one, I had to use a tiny one because it's not even too much of a force on these. Anyways, that's that. So guys, give me a moment. I'm gonna torque these and I am gonna come back, but make sure you caught all the threads on this baby. So we'll be right back after they're done torqued. Okay, so if you look at the length of this plug on the threads, make sure it's the same length that's gonna go inside the bore. Okay, if it's too long, the new plug is too long, you're gonna damage the cylinder. Okay, so make sure you pay attention to that. Okay, our spark plugs are nice and torqued. We got a new ignition coil. Denso is the brand we're using. Let me rip this guy open. And okay, the package don't even want to rip. So I just broke everything. Oh, let me show you guys the part number at least on the box. Denso is a good brand. It is not cheap, but there it is, the part number. Denso are pretty expensive. It could go up to $90 a coil. So remember, cylinder number 4 was misfiring, so we're gonna put this baby on 4, and the rest of them, make sure there's no oil in them. Just put those babies in. You can mix and match, okay? Like I said, you can put this one there, that one there, but just know the one that was giving you issue is not gonna bother you, okay? So that one, I'll put that to the side over here. I'm gonna just toss it out. That's that. So we got our 4 little bolts here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just tighten these. Nothing crazy, just I'm gonna use small letter impact here. 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is perfectly done. Don't forget to connect your coils. Just stick them in. You should hear it click, just like that. Click, click, and click. We had a small letter clamp for this guy right here, and I just want to finish up the job so you guys can see. But I might have to take this off to get to these 2 bolts because I still want to warm up the engine. I still got to do oil change on this baby, and then I'm gonna do a warm up the engine, and I'm gonna retighten all these bolts, especially for the valve. But you can start this car at this point, and like I said, you can spray some cleaner here. Once it's nice and hot, it's gonna eat all that. Just try not to get on the wiring, and make sure your cap and everything is nice and closed, and all the connectors on it. Put your cover in, and put the 210mm. You're done. Bada bing, bada boom. Thank you for watching, guys. See you guys on the next one.